Without watchdog institutions built by true leaders, impunity becomes the very foundation upon which systems of corruption are built. Coming up, construction mafia are a group of criminals who organize themselves into local business forums to invade construction sites across South Africa. They demand money in development projects, leading to systemic extortion, and that is bad for our economy.
Police in KwaZulu-Natal are intensifying their efforts against criminal syndicates that demand a stake in local construction projects. Over the weekend, 5 men were arrested for allegedly disrupting operations at a bridge construction site in Umsunduzi. In a separate incident, another individual was detained for allegedly intimidating contractors in Hospital Road in Durban, a tactic linked to what's known as the construction mafia. Public Works Minister Dean McPherson has made it clear that there will be no negotiation with this kind of extortion. Nobuhle Mudise has the latest developments.
Police have intensified their efforts to curb the influence of criminal syndicates at government construction sites in KwaZulu-Natal. Over the weekend, 5 men were arrested at a bridge construction site in Umsunduzi. They are accused of disrupting operations in an attempt to coerce contractors into giving them a cut of the project. They appeared at the Camperdown Magistrates Court, where they are facing a charge of extortion. In a separate incident, another arrest was made on Friday on Hospital Road in Durban. A man was taken into custody for allegedly threatening and intimidating contractors, again aimed at forcing compliance with syndicates' demands.
We are seeing a redetermination from the president downwards to various ministers, including myself, to get the job done and to get our sites completed on time. So this is just the start. We're also going to be hosting a national summit soon. We will be bringing together the 9 MECs across the country, myself, ministers in the law enforcement sector as well. And I'll also be hosting and having a meeting with the provincial commissioner in KwaZulu-Natal.
McPherson says these syndicates are particularly problematic in KwaZulu-Natal.
KwaZulu-Natal is ground zero for these disruptions and disturbances that we have seen. We've seen the most amount of violence, where we've seen people killed. We've seen attempted assassinations of executives in construction companies. And I think that until such time as we can clamp down and eradicate it from this province, we're going to battle to do it anywhere else, because these people are taking their lead from what's going on in this province.
They killed my close friend. They ambushed him and fired. He died in a hail of bullets that was meant for me. I worked hard to build a successful business. It wasn't sexy or glamorous, but I'd identified a gap in the market: waterproofing. Everyone needs their leaks sealed, right? From government buildings to shopping centers. It was all going well until, let's call him Thabo, called me asking for a protection fee. Pay or die, he said. I refused. That's when they killed my friend, thinking it was me. We happened to drive identical vehicles, you see. Same color, same make. And that's how I quit the business. We'll call this guy Jeff. His is an all too familiar story. From KZN to Gauteng and other parts of the country, the so-called construction mafia are terrorizing business owners, and many either pay, quit the industry, or they die.
Leave us alone. Privilege to come and tell us.
And as you can see, this is obviously the treatment that people constantly get: threats, intimidation, and bullying.
Hey, turn off that thing before. Turn off that thing before. The 30% of the community should be given to the community. You understand? And that is not terrorism. That is not maybe to be, to be thugs and stuff like that.
But aren't there processes that need to be followed for the community to be
There are
involved?
processes that we have started to talk with this guy. This guy is not the owner of this place. We ask him to give us the bill of quantity so that we can quantify the impact of the locality. Now, if he does not adhere to that, we will be left with no option but to close this site. Any project that comes to the locality, 30% should be given to that particular community.
Government projects.
Government and private.
No.
I have my proofs here.
Government and public.
What I found so appalling, though, was our controversial, questionable character, Shauwn Mkhize, aka Mkhize, defending these construction mafias to a point where she even works with them. Check this out.
43-year-old Tola Jiba owns a construction company that employs 20 people. She has grown her entity to a grade 7 level since she started in 2010. Jiba says the state must deal with construction mafias.
With the business forum, I think the only person that can assist us is the government, or else the let me say the client that documents that produces the document, the tender document. They need, as much as they do specify on the document that there is that 30% for a certain amount of tender value, they need to stick on that one. And also maybe they need to call them those structures, those business forum structures, and explain to them how this percentage works.
A sentiment shared by company owner Mandi Sacele, who says construction mafias pose a major challenge to their work.
Business forum ayasiphazamisa kakhulu emsebenzini wethu.
Business forums are badly affecting our projects, especially because they demand money they did not work for. We don't mind if they want us to offer them opportunities for them to work in our projects. We can do that, but they must work, not demanding hard cash of 30%.
However, business owner Shaun Mkhize has a different take on the matter.
As much as there are construction mafias, it's very important to collaborate. I've been in the industry for 2 decades with the construction mafia involved. But what I do when I come, I sit down because it's a crying for help to them. You just need to sit down, understand to them what is it that they need, and you collaborate. I've collaborated with them. I've built quite a lot of people that are coming from these, you call them construction mafias, I call them business forums, because all what they need is crying for help. Number one, there's so much of red tape in the construction industry. You need to have experience. Where are these people going to get experience if they're not being given an opportunity for them to work? So we, as people that get the work, we need to collaborate with them, bring them on board. And they've never given me problems because I've brought them on board. I've built so much of people that were coming from those construction mafias. I've built them from grade 1, some of them are in grade 6 because I've collaborated with them. I've bring them on board. It's just to listen. We mustn't look at them as enemies. We must listen to them and hear them out. And we meet each other halfway. That's how I've done it.
The KZN Transport and Human Settlement Department says the matter of business forums is being discussed at government level.
Issue of business forum, it's something that we are engaging at the level of policy. We will want to engage thoroughly with them. There is 30% allocated on CPG, which is defined by the law. But we are clear on extortion because we define that as criminal activities, because we don't want anyone who must block the project. We don't want any people who must say that this is my project, I must also benefit. When you have won the tender fairly and squarely, others must only benefit through CPG allocation. There is no one who must just stop the project. The issue of those who will come with rifles, I think police must take their role.
Mlonde Khatebe, SABC News, Durban.
Guys, let's get one thing clear here. Construction mafia are criminals. Whatever they are doing is crime. They are committing crime. And these guys are not laughing. They kill people in the process. What relationship is Mkhize having with these guys? What relationship is Mkhize having with these criminals? What do you negotiate with a criminal? What do you negotiate with a criminal? Except if you are involved yourself or a criminal yourself. Except if she is in what she is known to be doing herself, being involved in crime and corruption. You don't negotiate with a criminal. And these guys are armed and they kill people. And I like what government is saying, to say the police or the law must take its course. The police must just wrap their ruffles and make sure that they face these guys because they are also armed. And I like what the police are doing currently.
Now, in other news, Public Works Minister Dean McPherson has commended KwaZulu-Natal police for the arrest of construction mafia suspects. 5 suspects are believed to have tried to disturb work at a site in Msunduzi. They appeared before the Camperdown Magistrates Court today and have been remanded in custody.
I welcome and commend the South African Police Service under the leadership of the Provincial Commissioner, General Mkhize, for the work that they have done in arresting 5 people linked to the construction mafia. I was there at the Camperdown court and there was a lot of toing and froing, and eventually the SAPs and the prosecutors were able to remand these 5 people in custody for further investigation. I've also been informed this morning by the Provincial Commissioner that another person was arrested in the Point area for trying to intimidate construction workers within the Point area. So definitely government's reaction and response to the mafia is being ramped up, and we should welcome that and we commend it. And I think that that is an indication that the Government of National Unity will no longer tolerate, accept or negotiate with crooks and gangsters who seek to hold the state hostage or extort money from us.
Yep. That's how you handle criminals. That's how you handle criminals. By the way, if going back to Shauwn Mkhize, I think she made a blunder here, as always. She truly exposed herself, which side she's in. That was not a smart move by Shauwn Mkhize. But some of us are not surprised at all, because you'll remember when she was being investigated by Carte Blanche, how she embarrassed herself. She seemed to be very, very, very slow in her uptake. In the first place, Shaun was not supposed to be in that interview. Shauwn Mkhize was not supposed to be in that interview. You don't mess around with Carte Blanche. Those guys are international. Those guys are professional. That's professional journalism in its best. I think she underestimated them, and boy, they chew her. They ate her alive. Anyway, what do you think about Shauwn Mkhize? Let me hear your comment below, and if it's your first time, don't forget to subscribe.